Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the part of the world. My name is Emmanuel Eme, and today I'm very excited as we continue in our study of the atomic habits. What we've been doing is to just lay it with biblical principles, and I'm sure you are reading. And if you are part of the Success Attainment Mentorship Program run by the Business Professional Ministry, you are welcome. And if you haven't looked at module 1, 2, and 3, you might want to pause this video at this time and go to listen. Or if you have done 1 and 2, and have not done 3, it will be good for you to also pause and go and do 3 before you do 4, because all these things are layered, and it will help you to understand the previous one before you understand the new one. So today is module 4, and I'm really excited as we look at the third law. We began the laws in module 2, and that law is a cue. Okay, whatever you put before you, whatever you see, there's a trigger. If you want to form habits, atomic habits, the things you see, the triggers around you will help you. And of course, in module 3, you look at, make it obvious. All right. If you want to do something for a habit, make it obvious. For example, if you want to build a habit of drinking water, let's say 4 liters of water a day, make it obvious. Put bottles of water everywhere around you. If you want to exercise, make sure your trainer is there. That's the first thing you see. If you want to read your Bible, make sure everything, make it very, very obvious. So this law 3 today, it will be just making it easy. All right. I shared a story about a friend of mine who is in the military, and he's an administrative staff of the military, not a combatant, and he struggled with just push-ups. And rather than thinking about, I need to do like 50 push-ups a day, our coach, then told him, can you do 1 push-up a day? And that was embarrassing. We're like, what do you mean 1 push-up? Of course I can do 1 push-up. Okay, just do 1 push-up a day. So today, Saturday, just do 1 push-up. Tomorrow, Sunday, just do 1 push-up. Next tomorrow, do 1 push. That's all you do. And by the time we met, we normally meet every Fridays. And by the time we met, the guy was saying he did way more than. So it's making it very easy, for yourself. So we're going to be looking at these principles, today. And these principles are going to be spanning from chapters 11, 12, 13, and 14. That's what we're looking at today. So make sure you've read the atomic habit, those chapters 11, 12, 13, and 14. If you haven't, maybe it might be a good idea for you to pause at this time to go and read those chapters. Or if you would like to go through this video, I'm sure also the video will help you so that by the time you are reading them, they will become much more obvious to you. You will not struggle. You'll be like, oh, so this is what he's talking about. Right. Now, they say life is a struggle. Where would you rather be? Okay. Would you rather be, let me get my pointer this time. Will you rather be here where you are struggling about everything, or would you rather be here? So the struggle is also the reality of the highway. Okay, where do you want to be? A lot of time we rely purely on willpower. That's where we struggle. And like people say it in, I believe in those states, they call it struggle. You struggle like those occupations I mentioned in my village, carpenters and bricklayer. There's a song they have for them. Carpenter, bricklayer, $1 come and get $1. If you understand Igbo, you basically, it's like their life is struggle. Everything is struggle. So a lot of time we think exhaustion is effectiveness. You know how it is, people that work, maybe by they think it's hard work. I remember when I was in college, my very first year, in college, one of our professors, lecturer, I still remember him. He took us just by way at the 4th floor, and he asked us to look at. He said, if you look, you're going to see people across maybe Yaba, and he asked us that, have you seen people who carry load, who carry, they call it bonbon, all the way from Idumota. They carry all the way down to Ido, all the way down to Oyumbo. They asked us, do they work hard? I would say work hard. Then they asked us, do we want to work hard, or do you want to work smart? All right. That person toils and toils. Maybe at the end of the day, maybe in today's something, maybe he makes like 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira. But if you work smart, you can actually make way more than that. Proverbs 15 verse 9 says, the path of the sluggard is blocked with thorns. So today is your path. is a struggle. He said, but the path of the upright is a highway. So we want to teach you principles that if you go on them, your path will be a highway. Okay, you'll be able to walk smart. So this is where you learn how to strategically design your life. When you design it, you remove friction. Like me right now, you can't believe how many things I've achieved today. I've been up very early. I've prayed. I've done so many things. I've written. I've read. And I'm still here. And I have a meeting. I'm having a meeting in next time, maybe 1 hour to go and attend. I have mapped it out. Then I have time to just chill and relax. If you don't map your life out, everything is going to become a struggle. And so let's take a look at the law of least efforts. Okay, of least efforts. Yeah, yes, you can actually put in just a little effort and achieve more. So because by human nature, our default is a law of is effort. We don't want pain. We just want to walk. So why can't you tap into that human nature and begin to powerfully design your life? All right, powerfully. So the goal isn't for us to fight the flesh with our willpower. Oh, I'm going to do it alone. You don't do that alone. But for all of us, to outsmart it with intelligent environment design. Yesterday I was talking to a friend, an Asian, and we're talking about something about life. And he said, oh, when life throws you lemon, you make lemonade. And everybody laughed. And I said, no, you don't make lemonade. When life throws you lemon, you ask for water, you ask for ice, you ask for the jug, you ask for sugar. The guy said, I said, you can't make lemonade with just lemon. You need them. The guy said, oh, it makes sense. So a lot of us have been hooked onto the old definition of what life should be. Oh, life throws you, lemon, make lemonade. How can I make lemonade? Then you'll be able to say, I need water, I need ice, I need a jug, I need sugar, to make lemonade. So this is about thinking outside the box. Remember, the path of the sluggard is blocked with thorns. So today, think about your life today. Are you always struggling? Are you always struggling? Is your life like you are taking one step forward and two steps backwards? See, I'll give you an illustration. Look at this cube. Just look at this cube. It has 4 corners. For you to move it, it's going to take extreme friction. You're going to be dragging it or pushing it. This is where difficult habits are formed. Then there's high, resistance. There's a passage in the Bible. I'm trying to remember. I think it's the book of Proverbs. It said, "When the axe is dull." If I remembered it earlier on, I would have added to this slide. And again, a lot of things I say with these slides, I just think that God just bring it to my mind. It said, "When the axe is dull, you need more strength." You need more strength. If you have an axe that's not sharp, it's dull, you are going to be walking like Jackie. But the Bible says, but with wisdom, you can try to achieve it if you learn to bevel it. So in this case, maybe your life is like this. It's the same life. We're not asking you to change your life. It's the same life you have, but you can reinvent it. What if you are able to change the shape? Just about some things away, chip some things out, then you're going to have effortless movement. That's where rather than pushing or pulling, you're just going to roll. And in this life, you're going to be applying low strength. It's going to be easy. People talk about soft life. What is soft life? If you're not in Nigeria listening to this, you're going to find it very interesting. In Nigeria, we call something soft life. And soft life is the opposite of hard life. A lot of us, we are used to, it's as if things are not hard for you, you don't believe that things are working for you. So sometimes we don't want to learn how to do things easier. We still go through that hard life. So rather than thinking about, oh, my goal is to move this thing from here to here, why don't you look at your reality? What systems can I put in place? Now remember, the cue. What triggers you? Then what is the craving? Something you put before you, that is how you build craving. We talked about that in our last module. So in this module, we're going to look at how do you now respond. So if you look at the law 3 of behavior, make it easy. That's what we're talking about. Make it easy. How do you respond? How do you build good habits? How do you break bad habits? To build good habits, you need to learn to reduce the steps that are required. In other words, if you want to, let's say, I'm just making it up right now. If you want to learn how to cook, for example, if you're able to shorten the steps, then it can make it. But if you want to go through all these steps, oh, I have to make a list, I have to go to the market, I have to buy more, I have to buy this, I have to buy that. It's a lot. What? But with wisdom, you can actually place orders for those things. You can ask someone to help you go and buy them, so that your involvement is fewer. You are involved only in the most vital things in life. In the same way, if you want to break a habit, you want to break a habit, make it difficult. Make it difficult. For example, if you want to break a habit of watching too much television, switch off the TV, put the plug, face it the wrong way, put it in another room. By the time you think about what you are going to go through to get the TV out, you're going to say, I beg, I can't keep myself. In the same way, then if you are able to respond well, that is where you can now be able to look at the reward. Many times we want to look at the reward, but we don't want to invest in the system. So right now, let's look at diagonizing your path. Which path are you on today? I might not know, but you can ask yourself. We're going to look at this chart. Excuse me. Let me take a sip. Okay. This part about the dimension of your goal, of resistance of your goal. Then, of course, the upright highway. That is the atomic habit, the biblical habit. So, focus right now. What you don't want to do, or what people normally do, is they are fixed on the finish line. Oh man, I want to make it. I want to blow. You are focusing on the outcome. But the right thing, rather only focus on the outcome, why don't you master the starting line? That's something they call the 2-minute rule, and I'm going to be showing it to you. Why can't you master? If you say, "Oh, I want to win the marathon," oh man, and you can visualize it. You can say, "Oh, I want to win the marathon. I want to win the prize money. I want to win the medal." The more you do that, the more you are fixated. That is wishful thinking. Why don't you do that? But come back and say, "Okay, what do I need to do? How do I need to run?" That is systems. So that is what will shift your focus. Now, what about your environment? Remember the last module, we talked a lot about the environment. The wrong way to do it is to rely on your raw willpower. Overcome. Listen, I've run the marathon, the MTM marathon. I ran and I finished. And I can tell you, I didn't finish because I was strong or I've run marathon before. But I finished because I applied some system. So what you need to do is to now begin to look at intelligently priming the pace to remove the turn. I know what are the things that that are going to happen. I know I have a bad left leg, and I know that I'm not built for long distance. I'm built for short distance. So you have to now be able to manage. Sometimes I'm brisk walking. That's what I'm doing. It's brisk walking I'm doing. Sometimes I begin to jog, not run, jog. Then when I get to like Akmombo Bridge or one of the bridges in Vienna, because we started off from the marina, we went round, went to Ikoyi, went into all those places, come round, then came round again. I mean, it was a long distance. Then you know how to pace yourself. So it's the systems, because your willpower will fail you. They call it the IgG. If you know what IgG is, the initial gragra. It will fail you eventually, but it is the pacing. Be able to prime yourself. Then look, what about efforts? Maybe in the past, the efforts you do is pushing through massive friction. Hey, everything is all about power. Everything's all about effort. But listen, as you get older, even as I witness myself, as you get older, I find out that it is not just efforts. Okay, you need to design the law. How can I bring in more and work less? Now, it doesn't change the quality of the things that I do. Okay, that's why we use PowerPoints. I remember in my earlier days in the teaching ministry, I used to do what I call muzzle points. Okay, I began doing it in a Loring when I was in Kwara State, where I'll literally take cardboard and I'll take marker and I'll write the points down and I'll put it up. But those days have gone. Then I began using tabletop, and those days have gone. And I'll have laptop. The same thing, but I'm doing it much more efficient. Even the way I do my PowerPoints now, much more efficient. So if you look at the biblical counterparts. In the Bible calls somebody who relies on willpower that fails him, he called that person a sluggard. Bible said the sluggard is blocked by self-made obstacle. The sluggard. You want to do, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Everything is by your strength. But if you look at it the right way, Bible said the runner who throws off every weight. And I'm going to talk about that in the book of Hebrew. If you want to run, Bible says we should remove everything that hinders. So today, look at your environment. What are the things that are potential hindrance to you, meet your goal? It can even be you. It can be the way you carry yourself. It can be the way you talk. It can be your saving habit. It could be your time management, your life management. It could be people you associate with. It could be when you wake up. It could be when you sleep. I want you to determine all those things. Many times we talk about having a to-do list, things we need to do. And I can tell you that of making those lists, there's no end. But beyond to-do list, adding things to your life to clog your life, why don't you think about not doing lists or stop doing lists? And that is what we learn in Lean Six Sigma. It's all about process improvement. Sometimes you think, I'll have to buy more fuel and fire the gas to get to where I'm going faster. Sometimes it's not that way. Sometimes we ask you, how is your tire preparation? Do you know that if your tire is inflated, the car will drag and you're going to waste more fuel? What about the weight of the car? Are you carrying too much weight? What about your oil? It's been how long? When was the last time you service your oil? So what we do in Lean Six Sigma is that we maximize outputs by minimizing waste. All we do is just to minimize waste. That's how you can maximize output. So today I want to encourage you to look around you. Clear those stones. There are hindrances in your life. Okay, I want you to look at those things that form friction in your life. Your target habit is to have a good habit. Your professional mechanism to do is to decrease the steps, lower the efforts. Okay, you have to look at the law of least efforts. Biblical principle is to be diligent to remove hindrances. Then the path metaphor is to build the highway. That is good habits. But if you're going after bad habits, okay, that is a destructive action for you. You're going to increase your steps. In fact, your to-do list will be so long, they can be burdensome. The Bible says that you're going to guard your hearts, but you're not going to do it. Then you're going to be planting thorns. The more you fail to do things, the more you are putting boulder in front of your face. And that is why procrastination is defined as self-sabotage. You are actually drinking poison. You are poisoning yourself. So the goal is to make the right thing the easy thing. Make it easy for yourself. If you want to wake up early, set an alarm clock. If you want to wake up early, sleep early. If you want to wake up early, ask somebody to put whatever. If all those things are doing, also you're going to be dragging with life. So today, remove all the frictions around you. The Bible says in the book of Hebrews chapter 12, it says, let us throw off everything. And I mean everything that hinders. What are those bad habits that hinder you? Throw off everything that hinders. And the sin that is so easily entangled. I know, I tell myself, when I wake up in the morning, the last thing you want to do is to pick up your phone. Or the first thing you don't want to do is to pick up your phone. If you know that you pick up your phone, it's going to try, then don't pick up that phone. Put the phone away. All right? The Bible says, throw away everything that easily entangle and let us run with perseverance the race that is mapped out for us. So your spiritual speed and your diligence do not come exclusively from just pumping your leg harder. That is willpower. They actually come from you and I, intentionally. You have to be intentional in identifying and shedding the weights, the frictions that make obedience very difficult. And what are those things, today? Or you go to work late, then arrange your clothes before that. Then iron your clothes. Don't say, as I was going to iron, then NEPA took light. Then why did you iron when there's light? You have to do all of those things. So we are going to strip ourselves of anything that hinders. All right, strip yourself. You cannot go and run a race wearing what I'm wearing. This is like agbada, because the wind, you'll be catching the wind. So people that run race, they strip, they wear tight things so that you can go through the air. Very, very important. So let's talk about your environment. This is a picture of a bedroom. In the first arrow there is starting like Bible and no, your notebook and Bible. I have one here. Okay, it has to be placed, or because you want to wake up. That's what you see. Those are the cue. You must make sure you place them in a place that is open. If you are doing your research or your assignment or your laptop, make sure it's there. Then remove the friction of starting your morning devotion. That friction might be, okay, I want to read my Bible, I close my laptop. I want to read my Bible, I turn off my phone. My phone is going to be on, put it in the wardrobe. Because if you don't see it, it's not going to be a cue, for you. Then what are the exit blockers that you have? For example, you want to go to the gym. Then make sure your gym, you shouldn't wake up when I be looking for your gym. Your gym shoe, that one alone will discourage you. Okay, or your workout clothes. Where I put, make sure you already bring it. That's what I did. Even though before now, I already laid my clothes on the bed. What I'm going to wear, I knew what I'm going to wear yesterday. Today, yesterday. I already planned everything out. Then your visual cue. Maybe your tennis racket, you put it there very close. Oh, I'm going to go and play tennis. The more you see those things, the more it serves as a reminder. You want to learn how to play a guitar. If you don't put it there, how are you going to something to remind you? Okay, so that is how we teach our children. Children. We say, "Oh, go and do this, go and do that." All our 5-year-old and our 6-year-old, and I think thinking like a 5-year-old can really, help us. We tell them that if something is hidden, then it will not happen. In other words, if you have a goal and you are the only one that knows that goal, you probably will not meet that goal. So that's why you need to tell someone to hold you accountable, and that is why we go to school. If all you need to do is to go and buy all the textbook in the world and just read in the house, and you're going to be smart, everybody will do it. But why do you go to classes? Why do we enroll in in schools? Why? Because it helps us. It helps us. If you want to practice a guitar, then do not hide it. Okay, do not hide it. Make sure, let people know. The Bible said that we are the light of the world. You cannot light a lamp and put it on. I mean, I have several lights around me. One is here, two at the back. You don't find them under the table. They are put where they can serve. So, what are you going to do tomorrow? Start working on it today. What the person you want to be next week, start planning. Is the system. Start planning it today. Is very, very important. Make sure you put all those things so that when your time comes, it really comes. All right. And of course, have a 2-minute rule. Now, the 2-minute rule is that when you're starting a new habit, it must take less than 2 minutes to do. Anything more than that, like for example, I want to go and read my Bible. Between the time you say it after you read your Bible must be 2 minutes. If it's too hard, if you say, "Oh, I can't find the Bible," "Oh, I can't whatever," then you most likely will not do it. So you need to optimize your starting line and not the finishing line. When are you going to start it? That's why it must be smart. Oh, I would like to drink 10 liters, 4 liters of water every day. I would like to lose 10 pounds. I would like to have good quiet time. Then when are you going to start it? I'm going to start it next 2 years. It's not going to happen. Okay, it must be very, very short. So your habit must be established before it can be improved. Today we want to improve our life without a habit. The closer that thing is, the point here, I have a graph. This one is your mental resistance. This is where the friction is. This is the time. Okay? You could see that the shorter the time to do something, the more you are going to be able to break that resistance. Even if you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm going to do 50 push-ups today," you're going to fail. You're most likely going to fail. But if you say, "My goal today is to do 2 push-ups," then you go down 1, no matter how painful, then 2. Man, I did it. Then tomorrow again, I'm going to do 2 push-ups. 1, 2. I did it. After 1 week, tell yourself, "I'm not going to do 3 push-ups." That is how you can beat that resistance. So make it very, very simple. Okay? Scale everything that you want to do. Shun it down. Like they say, how do you eat an elephant? one bite at a time. You know, if you don't need to do everything. Sometimes I tell myself, I get overwhelmed. Oh, I'll need to clean my room. You know, with our children, clean your room. But which one is easier? You know, to do, to say, oh, I'm going to clean my room. They start thinking about, hey, I'll need like 2 hours. I need to get a bucket. I need to get a mop. I need to get a broom. I need to whatever. It is easier to say, I'm going to arrange my shoes. That's easier. Then again, I will clean my table, arrange my table, or I will make my bed. That one, your mind, your brain is automatically looking forward to it. But immediately you put something massive, I want, yeah, you can have a goal of doing a PhD, but it starts by you registering for a course. One course at a time. In fact, when I began my PhD, the very course I registered for was just on how to make presentation. You know, and my course advisor, you know, told me to take those courses that are easier for you. Then you can build them up. And that is so much wisdom. Okay. You know, I don't need to finish a chapter, but I'll read a page. Just make it easy for yourself. So summing up all of these things, this is the architecture of ease. It is how you can simplify it. Number one, identify the weights. Remember what Hebrew says, those things that drag you down. Identify the weight. Number two, then apply the 2 minutes rule in your life. Scale the habit down to something very, very simple. After you've thrown away the weights, okay, you can't say, oh, I want to run for like someone say, oh, I want to take 200,000 steps. No, say today I'm going to take 5,000 steps. When you achieve it, your dopamine level, you want to do it again, then you need to now prime your space. Okay, wisdom and stewardship. So after your physical environment, then lay out your clothes, place whatever there, then you are going to be happy with yourself. So this is the things that you need to do. It's not rocket science. If you understand it, there's a pillar. Pillar one, the blueprint. Pillar two, the engineering. Pillar three, the catalyst. Pillar one, says we have to be intentional about it. Pave the highway, refusing to walk through the thorns. Bible said that the highway of the slogan is filled with thorns. So make sure you clear the thorn. Number two, the engineering. You have to rigorously reduce the steps to good habit. Make good habit very easy for yourself. Then, of course, number three is the catalyst. Strip away the heavy weights. Every single thing, you will see yourself doing it, getting results over and over again. So, my brothers and sisters, I want to encourage us today to stop fighting the thorns and build the highway. There's a saying that whatever you resist, it persists. Whatever you resist, it persists. So sometimes, rather than focusing on people who are trying to distract you or whatever, then just change your friends. So excellence in your profession and depth in your faith do not require endless, grueling willpower. They require just intelligent design. Bible says there's a time for everything. There's a time to embrace and a time to let go. So know the time and make sure that your design brings excellence in your life. You cannot be exhausted. Do not be tired. Okay, God will renew your strength. Wisdom, I guarantee you, makes the path of the righteous, a smooth highway. So you are going to stop the struggle, what they call the TBTIA. Everything has to be a struggle. When you learn to do it, it becomes very, very easy. Sometimes you look at someone, oh, how do you achieve this? Because to you, it's maybe sewing clothes, maybe designing, maybe arranging, maybe preparing things. But when you learn the skills, you find out that execution becomes very easy. So as you go towards meeting your goal, put these principles in practice. And I have no doubt that God will guide you. God will bless you. God's going to be with you. I look forward to seeing you guys in module 5 as we are coming very close towards the end of this book. God bless you, and keep on believing and keep on working towards those goals. I'll see you again in module 5. Cheers for now.